So one thing I wanted to do recently is create more laid-back reviews on anime, because I feel like whenever I try and do one on the main channel, I have to put like weeks and weeks of planning into a video. I have to, explore how it might have had like a cultural effect on the genre, and this, that, and the other, which is great, and I really do enjoy making long-form videos. But I think at the same time, I would like to do more like shorter reviews, ones that are hopefully under 10 minutes, if I can stop myself from rambling. And the anime that I want to start with today, because I consume quite a lot of anime, just random films and shows. I mean, I'm trying to hit 300 by the end of the year, and I'm currently on around 260. But I would say I watch at least like one anime series a week, maybe two at a push. And one I watched recently with a friend of mine is an anime called Doukyuusei, which I believe translates to classmates. I know I've probably butchered the Japanese pronunciation there. So Classmates is a BL, and I will admit I don't really watch or read any BL. I have started getting more into romance animes and mangas recently, but I've just not taken the step towards BL. I don't know why, to be fair. I think it's because I watched Given and I really enjoyed that. I've just never really delved into the genre much. I think I definitely should, and I think this is definitely a very good opener to the genre. It's probably one of the better romance films I've watched, but we'll get into that a bit more later. So, the plot of Classmates is that there are two classmates, unsurprisingly. One of them is like your casual anime protagonist, in the sense that he's like a bit edgy. I say a bit edgy. He's different from the main group of the class. He's in a band. He's very carefree. He's got blonde hair, so he sticks out. He's very, as I'm assuming that they would probably describe him, conventionally attractive. And the other main character is this guy called Rihito Sajō, I believe is how you pronounce his name. And he's like the complete opposite. He's like straight-laced. He's an honor student. He's like I say, he's pretty much like what the ideal student would be. And these two students, Kusakabe and Sajō, are expected to perform in a I think it's like a choir performance over the summer, and Kusakabe basically discovers that Sajō can't really sing the part right, and offers to help him out. And even though that they are these like totally opposite people, obviously with all this time being spent together, they develop a relationship, and the film explores how that sort of grows. Now, the film itself is very short, I would say. It's about an hour, and the one thing that I my first dislike about the film was that it felt very rushed, but at the same time, within an hour, they've probably done as much as they can, and I think that's probably great. But I think it would have benefited from being maybe an hour and a half, maybe paced a bit better. But I don't know. I think it worked, but it left me wanting more. And I know there are sequels, but they've not got animes, and I can't really be asked to read the mangas for them yet. So we'll maybe get round to that at some point. I think what really sticks out about Classmates to me, though, is the art style. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's very aesthetically pleasing to look at, and it moves so fluidly that it's unreal. Like the contrasting colours between Kusakabe and his blonde hair, and Sajō and his very dark appearance with his like hair and everything like that. Obviously, the typical Japanese student. Is in my opinion, looks very nice. The story, obviously, like I mentioned, it starts talking about they wanting to sing in the choir, but it develops into more of that. It explores the idea of homosexuality. They go to an all boys school, so there's this I guess cultural idea that being in a homosexual relationship is something that will only happen whilst they're at this all-boys school, and then as soon as they get out into the world and there are women there again, then they will sort of grow out. They almost present it as a phase, which I think, especially with Japan's thoughts on homosexuality, is probably how it is presented in the real world. And they also discuss themes like, for example, one of the teachers tries to start a romantic relationship with Sajō, and he pushes that off. It also explores this idea of anxiety. Sajō suffers from it. He was transferred to the school because he had low test results in a few tests because of his anxiety, and he has a panic attack towards the end of the show, and Kusakabe is like his comfort, and it's really nice to see. And I think it really does represent love well, in my opinion. I mean, not that I have the most experience by any means, but when I think of what love is, this is what this film presents it well. It demonstrates this bond between two people. They have arguments throughout the movie, but they make back up, and I think that's a fundamental part of a relationship. There's going to be arguments. It's whether you can take those disagreements and move past it and allow it to go somewhere else. I think they present that really well. And the ending where they are, like I say, like Kusakabe becomes his like comfort character, and he does well in this test because he had the encouragement from Kusakabe to do so, and Kusakabe performs with his rock band because he knows Sajō is going to be there, and I think that's really nice, and I really do enjoy seeing how their relationship develops over the course of the film. I think, like I say, my only real issue is that, to be honest, like I say, the time is not the best thing in the world. Like, I really do think that it could have benefited from a bit more, a bit more timing. But I think that's really the only thing, in my opinion, that brings this show down. There's nothing like what you'd really get in a normal romance anime where you've got like a massive love twist. I know I mentioned there was this bit about the teacher, but it was more just, it felt for me like it was put in there more of a shock factor, or more of a thing to just be like, it just shows that their relationship is so strong because he's turned him away and Kusakabe comes and saves him basically. But there's none of that random drama. You've got no festival scene, you've got no beach episode, so it's getting plenty of ticks in my book for the romance scene. It's nothing too overtly like hardcore yaoi or anything like that. It's very wholesome. It's very enjoyable to watch. Even people like me who haven't watched many BLs can watch this and not be like, not freaked out by it, because there's nothing to be freaked out. But I can imagine that if I went and watched a hardcore yaoi, I'd be a bit confused as to why certain things were happening. Especially seeing as like, I've watched some ecchi animes in my time, and I think when I was watching them, I was like, wow, where it is now, it's a bit weird. I mean, obviously, like 14, I probably wasn't, because you know what you like at 14. But now when something slightly ecchi happens in an anime when it's really not needed, I'm just sort of like, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Classmates is definitely an anime I'd recommend to people. It's apparently the highest rated LGBTQ plus anime on my anime list. Now, whether that is a true reflection, I'm not sure. Like I said, it was good, but I don't think it's good enough to be the best LGBTQ anime on my anime list, unless all of the rest of them are bad. I don't know. I need to delve more into the genre. Maybe I'll do another review on another, BL anime or manga. But I think it definitely is worth a watch. It seems to act as a very nice gateway to more BL, because I was speaking to the person I watched it with, and he said that, it's very tame in comparison to some of the other stuff he's watched. And I think it's probably like a good bridge gap. You get this tame stuff, then maybe if you want to delve more into the BL, maybe like more the hardcore yaoi side, like I say, that this acts as almost a bridge. But yeah, I would say that Doukyuusei is probably, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I think the shortness of it brings it down, in my opinion. The music was great, the story's great, the art's great, the characters are great. Probably could have, they were developed well, but like I say, I think with a bit more runtime, there maybe could have been a bit more development, but I'm not sure. But yeah, 7 out of 10, and it's definitely worth a watch. If you'd like to see more shorter reviews on the second channel, then please do leave a like. And you know, if you want to just sit and hear me rant about anime, maybe I can start streaming or something like that, just to vent a sense of frustration I get when I don't get to voice my opinions on anime. It's just a shame I'm in some sort of weird writer's block, but I digress. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.